PolyBets is a router for Web3 prediction markets. With PolyBets, bettors only have to specify which marketplaces and markets they want to bet on, and our Oasis-based routing service will privately proxy and distribute their bet to both maximize profits and privacy. We've made it easy to build a bet slip by giving users tools to discover related markets across multiple marketplaces with our Agentverse-hosted market discovery research agent. All this is hosted publicly on Graph Protocol's Knowledge Graph for use by both our research agents and anyone looking for aggregated prediction market data. Here's how it works. We're demoing this against 4 actual dev instances of a closed source prediction market deployed to Solana. Links will be in the description if you want to check out the markets that we're running against. We have custom indexers that index markets created on external platforms. When we detect that a new market has been created, we index it in Graph Protocol's knowledge graph for fast retrieval in the front end and for easier discovery by explorers and agents. Then we use an LLM to find existing open markets that are equivalent, especially markets that are equivalent in non-obvious ways. For example, will Pope Leo be the next pope and will the next pope be American? Those are the exact same market. You can see the result of that research on the front end, where you can see the groups of related markets have already been researched and have been pre-indexed for quick retrieval on the front end. Users can then choose which markets they want to spread their bet to, choose their bet amount, and trigger a bet against the private Oasis contract. This will emit an event that will trigger the bet routing process in a backend service. What the bet router does is it simulates your transaction against multiple marketplaces and recursively finds how it can spread your bet, such as to minimize price impact so that you get the best price possible. And the more markets that you spread to, the better the obfuscation to conceal your alpha. As your bets are proxied, you will see the individual bets that are behind the bet that you place against the Oasis contract, the proxy bets, start to show up inside of the portfolio. One note on privacy. There's only 2 entities that can see this data that associates my activity with bets. It's the contracts and the user who placed the bets. Nobody else, including the administrators, us who deployed the contract, can see your data. This is afforded to us by Oasis's encrypted contract state. And although the bet routing logic is a Python, and although the bet routing logic is a Python app, it's running in a trusted execution environment as a ROFL app on Oasis, which means that we can't tamper with it. And there's auth checks that exist inside of the contract to ensure that only the bet router can modify most parts of the contract. On egress, we have a separate event listener that's listening for market closed events. And when it detects that a market that has bets that have been placed in the Oasis contract has been closed on the external marketplace, it'll trigger the market resolution workflow. This flow is pretty straightforward. It'll sell all the shares, and then it will increase the user's balance by the value of their shares when they were sold. If they lost, those shares will be worth $0, but if they won, then they'll be worth whatever they won in their bet. However, though, there's one additional feature that we have. It's called instant arbitrage. When you have instant arbitrage enabled, what will happen is that when we detect that that you have a bet on a losing position, because we already know the markets that you've bet on that are equivalent to the one that you originally bet on, we will immediately try to sell the shares that you have in the bets that we know that you're going to lose on other marketplaces. Betting on multiple markets not only increases your privacy, but it also increases the opportunities for arbitrage. This is PolyBet, a router for Web3 prediction markets. Thank you.